It's Monday morning. It's a chilly Monday morning. April 1st. There are no April Fool's jokes here today. Actually, there might be. Anyway, I'll tell you just a second. It's cold and chilly, overcast. I'm wearing a turtleneck sweater and a jacket. I'm freezing to death. I'm sorry, I am. We're going to test ride this Beezer this morning. And if it goes okay, we'll release it. If it doesn't go okay, if it shows that there actually is a clutch problem, we will address it. In the meantime, the yellow bike speedometer, we've been saying, when's that going to show up? When's that going to show up? When's that going to show up? Well, we figured out the April Fool joke this morning. I got online and did some tracking, and found out that the speedometer's in Ireland. Being held hostage by the British Postal Service for, quote, charges due, and that they have notified the recipient, which is where I shipped it. So I just sent another love letter email to the recipient company saying, would you look into this, please, and release that package? Considering it's a British part shipped from Britain, returned to Britain, back to the original manufacturer, I doubt seriously if there are any charges due, such as customs or anything silly like that. But somebody dropped the ball over there, and that package, the speedometer, is still being held hostage in Ireland, of all places. So that's the situation on the yellow bike. If we get this Beezer off the bench today, Beezer off the bench, I like that. If we get the Beezer off the lift today, I'm going to put the silver bike onto the lift. Oh, I've got two silver bikes. The big silver bike onto the lift, replace that clutch cable, see if it's working properly, start the bike, and maybe Kevin can do 2 test rides. After that, we'll put the 441 up on the lift because I don't have the seat yet for the green bike. We'll put the 441 up and see what we can do with it. So that's the plan for the day, and you and I both know about plans. They last about 5 minutes. I think what was it? I can't remember who said it. A heavyweight prize fighter says the fight plan lasts right up to the moment where you get punched in the nose. And battle plans, I understand, battle plans last up to the point where the first bullet is fired. So plans are plans. We'll see what happens. All right, the Beezer's been sitting for 2 days now, and it's chilly here, so it's really a cold start. Let's see how it goes. The new corks solved the petcock problems. And you know what? The corks are not that bad a design for petcocks. I mean, these silly petcock, the corks have been in some of these bikes 30, 40 years, and they're still working. And for them to dry out is not out of the question. It's not a bad design originally. Cork worked for a long time. And I'm not sure if back in the 60s they had sufficient plastics that are gas-proof to use in place of the corks. So we think it's silly, we think it's archaic, but basically it's not a bad design. It really is. It works. Okay, I'm going to try to cold start this thing. Let's see how it goes. Got a good tickle both sides. Key, got the silly key on. We got good headlights. We got good power, good snap. Let's see what happens. Come on. Seriously, that was one kick on a very, very cold motorcycle. And what I like to say, you can't beat that with a stick. Well, the old saying of best laid plans of mice and men. We rolled the bike outside to do a test ride, and on the rollback, the bike kept jerking to a stop as if it had kicked itself into gear. But then we'd roll it forward and it would roll fine. We'd roll it backwards a few feet and then it would kick back against us. So right now we got it up in the air, and let me show you what's happening with the rear wheel versus shifter, okay? This should be first gear. We got nothing. Actually, it's worse. I got nothing in any attempted gear. Okay, there. Did you see it? Did you see it stop there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go into this side first and see if there's anything happening with the shifter mechanism. And if it looks normal, then we will have to remove everything from the primary side and pull the gear cluster out and find out what's happening with the shifter pawls and everything else that's inside the tranny. And what was going to be a really good day where we were going to do some quick fix, it just went into the porcelain appliance. So here we go into the clutch and tranny on this Beezer. All right, we've got this cover up over here, and we're checking the shifter mechanism over here, and it seems to be just fine. So we're going to go into the primary side over there and see if we can see something on that side. But right now, this little shifter mechanism, which occasionally will break the key and start slipping, it seems to be just fine. It's just basically, it shifted something, but nothing happened. So, anyway, that's where we are. We're going into the other side. We're going in to the other side.
Is this side reverse threaded?
Yes, that peg on that side is left-handed. All right, we're into the primary. Got a nice aluminum clutch here, clutch basket, and I don't necessarily remember it. I've worked on this before, so I'm going to go back and check my files and see if I put this in here. I may well have, I just may not remember. I'm going to go check the files and see what they say. 683230A. That's nice. Okay, Kevin's going to continue taking that apart while I go inside. I got to say, the oil's dirty.
Yeah.
This thing does not vent through the primary, but this is nasty oil. I don't know why it's so dark. Huh, interesting. Okay, I don't think that would make a difference, but just, that's what is. All right, while Kevin pulled these plates out, I went into the archives and found out that we did install all of this. And at the same time, we pulled the complete transmission apart and replaced the shifter plate and a couple of other parts. I will include all the photos from that last effort in the middle of this video just so that you can see it. But apparently something inside the tranny has broken, and we are now going to yank all of this out of here and empty the transmission case and find out what's happening, because it sure doesn't look like it's in this case. And so the progresses. All right, it's gosh, 11:45. What time did you get here, Kevin? 8:30?
No, today it's about 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. It was a late show, right? So 10 to 11:45. We're about less than 2 hours. Kevin has this whole side open and ready to take this inner door off and pull the gear cluster out. Check out this spiffy high capacity SRM oil pump. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I installed that back when we worked on this bike last time. I need to go back and find out what days those were, what dates, you know?
You know, I'm going to guess the battery over here says 10/20/22.
2022?
Yeah, so that would be...
Right about the right time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Kevin's got this side ready. I got this side stripped down here. We're going to show you something here. Okay, these flathead screws that hold this plate in are notorious for being difficult to get out, and you put a screwdriver in there and you just rip them up and strip them up and just mangle them. Now, they have a very, very shallow groove in them, very shallow. So the way to get them out is, first of all, you have to be familiar with these hand impact tools. Hold that like that because I'm going to zoom a little bit so I can show this. I'm going to zoom in, yeah. That's a hand impact tool. And I took a screwdriver tip and had it welded to a socket and ground it down so I've got exactly the right size. This is for this job only, for these screw heads. And if you put it in here and get it in the slot really firmly like that, hold it in place and keep the pressure counterclockwise like this, and then just tap the impact tool, these will come right out without damage. Okay, so Kay, I'm going to give you that. We're going to set this up and hope this works like I had just said it's going to work, because we're on video now. Okay. It moved. You should be able to unscrew it. There, that was all you needed to do.
Yeah, like you said, that's
That was all you needed to do.
There we go.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so we broke it free, and we can take it out. No damage to the screw. You ready to do that one?
Yep.
Have you done that one? No?
Haven't done
We'll
that.
do that one now. See it? Did you see it do about an eighth of a turn when he tapped it? We're not beating on the thing. We're just tapping on the thing. So anyway, that's how to break these screws free without mangling the heads, because the heads were made to be mangled. And I've taken out some nasty screws over the years. So that's just an FYI. And over here, clutch assembly, this side, that side, tranny inner case or outer case, depending on how you look at it. And progress is progressing. We're going to pull this gear cluster out of here and call it a day. All right, at what time is it? It's 12:15. So we've got the primary completely open, got the sprocket off, chain off, completely open. There's absolutely nothing holding this tranny together at this point in time. We're going to tap on this side with a brass hammer, and over on this side we've got all 5 of the retaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The nuts are off. There are no more retaining anything. So at this point in time, when I tap on the other side, this whole gear cluster should come out this side. That's a capital should. Capital S-H-O-U-L-D. I think it will. And we'll find out. Okay, I stood safety on this side while Kevin tapped on the other side, and here comes the gear cluster. So I'm going to just try to pull this out while holding the camera in my left hand, see what happens. This whole thing should come out together. Ow, just pinched my finger on the, ow, 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 ow. Let's take this over to the bench. Oh, take a look at it. Oh, look at that gear. Can you see that gear right there? Wow. Is it should make me a space here. Would you just slide things off? Whew. Oh my. Take a look at this, Kevin. Look at that. Poor gear.
Whoa!
How about that?
That'll do it.
How interesting. How does that get mangled? I don't see anything else right now, but that would
That'll do it.
certainly make things not good. All right, moving it over, sliding it over. Last time I had this apart, I installed this whole new shifting plate, and that still seems to be in good shape. Wow. I think we're down to 1 gear.
Yep.
And let's see if this is removable or if it's part of the shaft, and whether it's pressed on the shaft or if it's removable. We'll take it apart and find out. Let you know when we take this apart. Okay, one way or another, we're done for the day. I'm going to go do, here's the tooth. We found it in the bottom of the tranny case. I'm going to go do some parts book study and find out if this is all one part. This is pressed onto that shaft. This doesn't seem to want to come off either. This might be one part. I'll take a look at the parts book and make a decision and order what's necessary. C'est la vie. I don't know how you break a tooth. I could guess, but I'm not going to. Okay, that's where we are. We're going to clean this place up, put all these parts in various and sundry Ziploc bags, and put the beezer over back in line while we order parts. Let's take a look inside the tranny so you can see what an empty tranny looks like. There it is. I'll do a little zooming in. That's what an empty beezer tranny looks like. I'll clean it all out and make sure there's no shavings or anything left in there when we put it back together. This is the oil level. You fill it up until it overflows right here, and that sets the oil level. Or you just put in the proper amount, of which I have a table, so you don't have to do that. Once again, this is the primary side, beautiful oil pump, and an empty tranny. So that's where we are for the day. It's about 12:30. We're going to clean up and call it a day. Interesting. I will put in all the photos from the previous rebuild, just so you can see what was done the last time. I didn't do videos back then, I don't think. I don't remember. Anyway, we'll put the photos in so you can see them. Maybe. Well, there's some weather rolling in. We don't know if it'll rain or not. It's iffy, 50-50. Kevin's gone home. He was riding his bike, so he's gone home. We're done for the day. Let's start over here. I cleaned out the tranny case. It's nice and clean and dry. So there's what a cat tranny looks like, all wiped out. The second tooth was down in that little area. I got it out. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Right in there. It was down in there. Okay. While I was at it, I laid the drive chain out on the floor, and it has about 7 inches of deflection from the straight line. 6 inches is basically a brand new chain. 7 inches has been on there just enough time to be in good shape. 8 inches is a good chain. 10 inches is a chain that really should be replaced, and anything beyond 10, you're riding on borrowed time. So between 6 and 10, you got a good chain. After 10, you really should change it. So this is a good chain. We'll put it back on the bike. Over here, I've cleaned up all the tools. Yeah, let's put this light away. This is a great light. It's called a Stinger. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. And Stinger 2020. It's a great light. It's got, we'll just say low. Let's go up here. Okay, low, medium, and high. And it fits into a wall mount, and it stays charged all the time. I just got so tired of changing batteries in the 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 flashlights I kept here. I sprang for this, and it's a wonderful thing. I like it so much. I have one here. I have one in my house by the back door. I have one in the RV mounted on the wall by the door. I really like them. Okay, so getting back to more mundane objects. Here's the second tooth that was in the bottom of the transmission. So I got the 2 teeth that are missing from here. I'm going to go look in the parts book and order what's necessary to replace either this whole thing or that gear, find out about how it's built. This is the front sprocket. It's a 20-tooth sprocket. Let's talk about teeth. If you want your bike to be fast off the line, good acceleration off the line, faster than your buddies, a 19 tooth is the way to go. 18 tooth will give you about 10 feet of acceleration before you have to shift, but 19 tooth will give you really good acceleration off the line. A 20 tooth makes the bike a whole lot smoother to cruise with. Now, 20 tooth sprockets make a whole lot of sense out here in Arizona because no matter where you are, your next cup of coffee is 100 miles away. And you don't need to accelerate the whole way with a 19 tooth fast response sprocket. You want a nice 20 tooth cruise down the road at 65, 70 miles an hour at 2,500 RPM. It's wonderful. This may be a slight exaggeration here, but just you get a whole lot of more cruising speed with a whole lot less RPMs if you go to a 20. I put 20, if I ever have to change a sprocket, and I do, because these wear out, I suggest to the client they go with 20s, and I've never had any one of them come back and say, I want to go back to the old one. They really like the way the bikes feel. That's where we are. I'm going inside and do some research now. I'll put together this video. I'll see if I can put the still photos from the previous time we were in the transmission in with the video, see how that works, and may or may not work, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, we're calling it a day, and tomorrow we'll take this bike down, put it back over into line, and bring the silver bike up and put the new clutch cable on it, start it up, and see if it's ready to be test ridden. So, progress is progressing. And the fun just never stops.